ATO will be hunting job keepers. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because there's an interesting article from Business Insider discussing, well, the ATO. Every time it's, this time of year, new financial year, you always start hearing the things in the news that the ATO is going after such and such. The ATO will go after this group. The ATO are targeting taxi drivers. Now, the ATO says it's chasing $284 million in JobKeeper overpayments from companies that took advantage of the government's pandemic wage subsidy. Now, I wonder how many of those payments are going to be going to one-man operations that didn't really need it. We're going to see. This will be interesting because that's the problem when you get the free monies from the government, But before we go through this, I just want to draw attention to the sponsor of this video, which is our HeiseSaysUS channel. Make sure you check it out. It's US-focused articles that I go through. If you're not familiar with it, it's up there. I do less content than the main channel, but I still try and bring some US news. So, government to the rescue. We've had a few things that we should discuss, JobKeeper being one of them. Almost nearly 9% of the Victorian workforce at one stage was being supported by JobKeeper, everyone. That's a big number. You've got trading while insolvent. This is the one that scares me the most as a small business owner, having had the joy of chasing someone for payment. It's all part of the fun. This is the number of JobKeeper applicants in October 2020. You'd over 175,000 in Queensland, 323,000 in New South Wales, and 289,000 in good old Victoria. 15 in Tassie, 56 in SA, 87 in WA, and 4,700 in the NT. Lots of people either being supported by this. And I would honestly say, my suspicion is that this was implemented to limit the impact on our welfare program. And this is as a percentage. 6.84 in Queensland, 7.95 in New South Wales, and 8.76 as a percentage of employed people. So, other interventions is juicing the market, the housing market, everyone. We can see the cash rate down below. You've got housing approvals skyrocketing because of home builder. We're all familiar with that, everyone. You've got the negative gearing, which is just now it's a political issue. It's why we have a culture where everyone thinks the only way to get ahead is in housing. And that has an issue. So, ATO hunting job keepers. Let's have a look to see what Business Insider is telling us. The ATO says it is chasing $284 million in JobKeeper overpayments from companies that took advantage of the government's pandemic wage subsidy. So, the ATO has announced it is seeking to recoup $284 million in JobKeeper payments from companies that fraudulently accepted the government assistance. The agency has already recovered about $138 million in fees from businesses. Did you get JobKeeper, everyone? Did you receive it? Let us know in the comments if you got it, if you used it, if you needed it. My biggest issue or concern with JobKeeper was that there might be some small businesses that were using it to keep people on, but maybe not, that weren't viable to continue. And maybe they were incurring other costs associated with JobKeeper because JobKeeper did not cover everything with having a staff member. And there are also going to be some businesses that got it for nothing or that didn't need it. But the issue is, if you've got a competitor that's getting it, and you are viable, you may be just on the border and you can get it, and you take it, you can't not take advantage of that opportunity because your competitor is going to take advantage of that opportunity and they'll have an unfair advantage. This is the problem when the government intervenes in this. So it said it had identified companies and individuals which still owe the Australian Taxation Office hundreds of millions of dollars for trying to rort stimulus payments, including the JobKeeper wage subsidy. While some companies that have made public declarations that they have paid or are paying back JobKeeper funds include Toyota, Domino's, and Super Retail Group, Many others have not, the tax agency said. An ATO spokesperson told the ABC that some businesses have invented wages to get the cash flow boost subsidy and are being pursued. We'll have to see how many actually did that. But this is the problem, everyone. Whenever you have a system like this, people are going to rort it. Okay? This is the thing with any government program, intervention, or scheme. Free money, people will take advantage of it. Now, the thing is, you have to understand, is that worth it? Or that's just the dead weight loss you have incurred to ensure the legitimate people that suffered this damage because of the government intervention, which is the lockdowns, are compensated. That's it. They said the agency had applied penalties to more than 115 JobKeeper matters, and that 47 businesses were currently seeking to make JobKeeper repayments. Of these, 33 companies have repaid $159 million. There are another 14 the ATO are in discussions with for another $66 million, and there is a total of $225 million to be potentially paid back, they said. The ATO spokesman said the agency was still chasing another $82 million, and that it had identified $64 million which had been claimed in good faith and passed on to employees. The actions by the ATO at the end of the financial year come almost a year after the government's federal wage subsidy program was launched to support businesses in retaining workers following nationwide lockdowns in March 2020. Since the JobKeeper wage subsidy was introduced, almost 3.8 million workers employed by more than 1 million businesses have received $89 billion in payments. An estimated 900,000 workers were still receiving the wage subsidy as of March 9 this year. The spokesperson said that as part of its JobKeeper compliance program, the agency had reviewed more than 200 matters for suspected possible fraud against the payment scheme. In March, a report from corporate governance advisory firm Ownership Matters found that 1/5 of the JobKeeper payments made to Australia's biggest ASX-listed companies ended up in the accounts of profitable businesses. Well, it wasn't that the businesses weren't profitable. My understanding was it was just that the business had a loss in revenue. You know, isn't that what they told us? The analysis sparked concerns at the time that the $83 billion scheme was being abused by parts of corporate Australia, and showed that 66 of the ASX top 300 companies claimed a total of $1.38 billion in JobKeeper payments for the 6 months to the end of December 2020. The report also found 34 of those companies claimed profits after pre-COVID levels, suggesting some businesses that received government payments flourished as pandemic restrictions eased. Many profitable companies, including Nick Scali, Domino's Super Retail Group, and Australian resources giant Aluka, have voluntarily repaid part or all of the subsidies they accrued. Well, there you go, everyone. So what's the solution or the takeaway from this? One thing is, we need to remember the price that future generations will bear for this. We're looking at nearly $1.3 trillion in government at a federal and state level of debt. Are you happy with that? Are you happy that that's going to be passed on to future generations? It's going to, one way or another, it'll chew away the purchasing power that you have or enslave people to work for the government even longer. What do you reckon? I'd suggest, if you're concerned, is to become politically active and, well, publicly raise your concerns. There doesn't seem to be many people batting an eyelid about it now. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Did you get JobKeeper? Are you worried? Or was your business that you're working for getting it and passing it through to you? Do you think they may be in trouble? As always, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Buy a merch from HeiseSays. Use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.